guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we have a very special package from Walmart. We're going to be unboxing it, and this should be something pretty interesting. It's probably on the thumbnail of the video, so I don't know why I'm acting like you don't know what's in here already. But I am just going to open this up. Been waiting for this. I mean, it's only been like 2 days. It actually arrived pretty quickly. But I can just get the top sliced open real fast. Should be it. And we should be able to just open this up. Hopefully, once the box is really sealed shut. Okay, I think they have actually glue on this for some reason, and yes it is. You can kind of already see what's in there. Yeah, I definitely glued this box shut a little bit, but here they are. We have the Jurassic World Rebirth Maiasaura, which I'm going to be reviewing next, because first I would like to take a look at this. The Utahraptor. I'll just get this out of the way. Let me fix my lighting because it's a little bit weird right now, but okay, there you go. That should be good. Anyways, here's the Jurassic World Wild Roar Utahraptor. So, been really excited for the Rebirth figures to release, and a few of them just went on order on Walmart. Actually, they have all of them on Walmart.com right now, but they're just not all available right now, but the Wild Roar were, so I picked these guys up. And yeah, let's take a closer look at the packaging. So first we have the Rebirth Spinosaurus. Moving over, we have Utahraptor in pretty generic font. Then we have Rebirth logo. Then we have these red and black stripes, which I think that's the main part I don't really like on the packaging. It kind of just doesn't fit the colors to me. I feel like it should have been like blue and yellow maybe, but anyways. Rebirth logo over here. On the back you can see the Utahraptor alongside Baryonyx, Maiasaura, and a Triceratops. The Jurassic Facts app, which I don't think is updated yet. Jurassic World Rebirth logo. Underside, not much. Anyways, let's get this figure out of the packaging. I'm super excited to take a look at this. So, I think we can just cut this right here. Hopefully. Probably let me get some scissors. Okay. Got some scissors. Now we can actually cut this open a little bit. Some snips there. And here's our Utahraptor figure. Looks absolutely amazing. The feathers look so good. We're going to take a closer look at it in a second. Just gotta get that stand up, and you can see the tail already. Oh man, the sounds are great already. Anyways, we have the tail fan still in the box, which I have to figure out how to get this out without damage to packaging, so let me do that real fast. Okay, I got the tail out of the packaging. Honestly, I don't know why Mattel didn't attach it to the bottom where it's unpainted instead of back here with the packaging. But anyways, let me get this Utahraptor figure back in here, so that we can actually clip its tail on. So you can see, pretty easy peasy, just should be able to clip right in. And boom, we have it in, and it has a really decent length tail. Let's finally take a closer look at this figure. It looks absolutely stunning. So starting off with the head, we have a really nice head sculpt. Has the rubber teeth, which are absolutely amazing. We have the tongue back there. It actually has lips. The mouth does hang open. I kind of wish they would have had it closed. That would have been cool, but when you do the action feature, you can have it closed like this. Looking into the mouth. Pretty simple detailing, but you don't really need much since, again, it is just the mouth. Usually not too much detailing in there. Then we have the feathers on the head, which kind of has like eyebrows, which look really cool. Alongside feathers on the back of the head, which are actually rubbery, these ones, and then it's just sculpted into the body here. A little more skin down here. Then moving down to the body, we have these wonderfully sculpted feathers, and they gave it like the proper type of feathers too and everything. Looks amazing. Going down the feet, they have scales. They also have the more proper size feet. Also, here's the scan code. Forgot they moved them back to the foot. If I can get my camera to focus on, which I'm going to pull it back a little bit for you can see it probably. Yeah, there's the Utahraptor scan code. When the Facts app does update, you can use that to scan it. Look at the arms. The wing feathers. One thing I do wish is that the wing feathers would have went all the way up to the hand like they're supposed to. But that's not too bad of an issue. Considering that's like the biggest inaccuracy on this figure, or biggest issue on it, I'd say that's a win. Also, the wing arms are just completely rubbery. Also, this has been sitting out in the sun for a little bit, so it's a little bit more rubbery than it probably would be once it cooled off a little bit. But you can see, I wish the claws were painted, but they still look amazing. Also, they're, again, since they're rubbery, they're really sharp. So that's really cool. Again, toe claws, all looking great. I know in some of the bigger figures, they're casting the feet, like the bottom side of the feet and the claws in a different plastic so they don't have to paint them. Honestly, I wish the Wild Roars had that too, but not too big of an issue. I can probably just paint those. Also, the paint scheme, going down the tail again, back to the sculpt. underside is actually feathered as well. But yeah, we also have the tail fan, which is also made out of rubber and looks great. Again, looking at the paint scheme, I think the Rebirth figures have less paint because it only goes halfway down the body, which is a bit annoying. But the Utahraptor is easily like honestly, this is like the least of an issue on the Utahraptor. On the other figures, it can be a bit of an issue, but the Utahraptor not really. Anyways, moving on. There are those sounds again, sounding great. The articulation, you move the wings backwards, forwards, outwards, inwards, and various combinations of that. We have the jaw, which can open and close, that's part of the action feature. The neck that can move up, down, and turn side to side, which is also part of the action feature. The legs, which can go backwards, forwards, and generally, they can't go outward, which is interesting. Wait, no, I think they can, just very little. Yeah, like very little you can move them inwards and outwards, but barely. So, yeah, then the tail also moves. Again, that's part of the action feature. And then there's, like, an articulation joint back here for the tail fan can swivel and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, on to the actual action feature, which, again, I don't know what's up with my lighting. I had to rearrange my lights a little bit for taking photos for the Etsy and stuff, but, here you go. Anyways, the action feature, which maybe if I lower the camera, it'll help a little bit. Yeah, I think that helps slightly, hopefully. Yeah, I apologize for the weird lighting in this video, but, yeah, anyways, the action feature... Move the tail and it chomps. Definitely one of the Mattel's more seamless action features, and I kind of like it better than the gigantic trackers, in which, like, when you turn the head, you can chomp on command instead of just turning and chomping, similar to the Sugamimus figure, which is really nice. So yeah, this is an absolutely amazing figure. Can't wait to get a hold of some more Rebirth figures and also take a look at the Maiasaur in a second. But yeah, this action figure is just really good. On to the size comparison. So, let me get my tape measure. First off, this figure measures in at over a foot long. I'd say like 1 foot, 12 and a half inches long. And height at the hip, I'd say it's about 4 3/4, but at the top of the head, I'd say about 5 inches tall. This is a pretty big figure. Now, to actually compare it to a few things, let me just go grab those real fast. First, here's it compared to a Jurassic World Velociraptor figure, which it absolutely dwarfs in size, alongside a Jurassic World human figure, which, yes, this is technically a bit oversized for a Utahraptor. It should actually be kind of more in between these two, but it's too big to be in Danger Pack, but slightly too small for Wild Roar, and I definitely rather it be in Wild Roar just to get that massive raptor figure. And let's see, can it just grab a human? I actually don't know how. This thing's very loud, but I want to see if we can grab onto a human figure if it has a strong enough bite force to do that. Doesn't seem so. Yeah. Guess the jaw is just very weak. Can't really grab onto a human, but that's alright. Anyways, next. I have to bring in the other raptors as well, since we already have Velociraptor. Yeah, let me put the Velociraptor back up here, but we also have the Utahraptor, which also gets dwarfed by it. The Pyroraptor, which also, again, gets dwarfed by it, which if I just bring it closer to the thing. And also Beta, because why not? Let me get my camera up. You can see, here are all of the Jurassic Raptors compared to it, and, well... I was going to bring this in a second, but I might as well bring it in now. Here's the Indoraptor compared to it, which Indoraptor is quite a bit bigger. But you can kind of see, since Indoraptor is, I guess it's kind of also a raptor, so I guess it counts. Kind of got to be here. Anyway, I don't have the Megaraptor, but I do have the Orcaraptor, which I'll bring in a little bit. But, yeah. Anyway, just comparing it to the other feathered Dromaeosaur in the franchise that we have, the Pyroraptor. This is such a big improvement. I hope we get more feathered raptors in the future. I know back before this figure was revealed, some people were complaining about it possibly being feathered and wanting it to be scaly, which... Why? We have like a million different Velociraptors. If you really want to just have a scaly Utahraptor, you just go with the 9-inch basics. Well, it's so rare for us to actually get feathered raptors in this franchise. I would just really rather see a feathered one, especially since we're probably not going to be getting too many Utahraptor figures. I'd rather have one feathered one than instead of having like another just basically bootleg JP Raptor, but bigger. So yeah, really happy that they did go with the more accurate feathered route for this figure. Next, let's see, what I forgot. Let me bring the Indoraptor back in here, actually, because, again, you can't really see it too well. But, in this position, they're about the same size, just with the Indoraptor, actually knocked over the Utahraptor, being quite a bit longer. It actually even has the same skull size, just the Indoraptor is way more lengthy, so it has a longer tail. Otherwise, they're like the same size. Next, here's it compared to the Scorpius Rex, which I don't know. Is Scorpius Rex supposed to be a raptor? I can't really tell. Is Indoraptor even supposed to be a raptor? Anyways, the Utahraptor gets dwarfed by this thing. Hope we get a Hammond collection of Scorpius Rex at some point, but yeah. Anyways, it gets dwarfed. The Utahraptor is just so much smaller compared to it, but the Scorpius Rex is huge. Next, here's it compared to the Suchomimus. I wanted to bring this in first thing because it has similar colors. Second thing, because the action feature. When you turn the head on this figure, it just automatically snaps. You don't even have to press anything. But and you cannot bring it inwards. You could probably break the mechanism by doing that, but yeah. But when it do go down and up, it does chomp, just like the Utahraptor does. But when turning, you can control the bite. So there's that. Also, again, I haven't opened the Maiasaur yet, but in the next review, you'll probably see it there. Here's it kind of compared to the Maiasaur. Guessing they're kind of similar in length, but the Maiasaur, I think, is quite a bit taller. So, yeah. Now let me get the Urahraptor, which is going to be tricky because, again, I got new shelves and it's really high up, so let me go get that real fast. Okay, I got the Urahraptor. Again, do not have the Megaraptor, so I can't compare it to that. But here's the Urahraptor, which is basically this figure, except not as good. Like, I think they had a good idea. The Megaraptor, I think, just proportional-wise is better, but they made the Urahraptor, like, really thick and bulky for some reason. So, yeah, you can see this thing's head is, like, twice the size of the Utahraptor. Also, I find it interesting that we got an Urahraptor before getting a Utahraptor, but yeah. Anyways, the action feature for this is there's a little switch on the back. So yeah, those are those figures compared. And actually, I think the Utahraptor actually has smaller feet. You can kind of see the Urahraptor already has smaller feet compared to other figures, and its feet, in the more Utahraptor's feet are already smaller than that. So, yeah, that is pretty much, that is almost everything. There's one more thing I want to compare it to. This custom Utahraptor figure I made, which actually somehow is like the exact same size. Like, the skull is like the same size. The only difference is I gave mine a really long tail, which I think I overdid it a little bit even for this figure. But they're basically the same size. Pretty much this new Utahraptor is replacing my old one. My old one had a lot of articulation. I had like feet and toe claw articulation, but the feet are so oversized. And I've been wanting to get a better Utahraptor for a while. I'm so happy Mattel released a new one. And man, this is one of the best figures that Mattel released recently. Definitely the best feathered species they've done. One of the best new Mattel figures in general. I absolutely love this figure. I think it looks great. Again, here's it from the front. You can just, it has good range of articulation. Has a good action feature. Has a good paint scheme, though. Again, it would be nice if the claws and the paint went a little bit further on the body. But yeah, generally this is a great Mattel figure, and I can't wait to get a hold of more of the rebirth figures alongside taking a look at this new Maiasaur as well. So yeah, I'll put a link to this in the description. It's on Walmart.com right now. The only figures available right now on Walmart.com, they have everything on there, but the only ones that you can actually purchase, as of now, at least from last time I checked, was the Wild Roar, the first wave of them, the Gigantic Tracker, first wave, the so like the Eotriceratops and Tyranotitan, and then they also have the Quetzalcoatlus, and then the other two they have are the Mosasaurs and Aqualops. Those ones are out of stock, but they were available at some point for pre-order. But anyways, I'm super happy these figures are here. Can't wait to take a look at more of them. What's your opinion on this? Do you plan on picking this guy up sometime? And what other rebirth figures are you super excited to see? But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one, and goodbye.